Lights, camera, action.
In a studio where local filmmakers talk to other filmmakers about the inside world of film.
Cut.
That's not the script. It. We'll fix it in post. Do you wonder how films are produced and what really goes on behind the scenes? Well, stand by. Filmmakers Kevin Mumphrey, Victoria V.A. Jones, and Carson Hype Ferguson explain all the details. Right here on It. We Will Fix It in Post podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you're listening or watching, I thank you for doing so. I'm Kevin Mumphrey, and this is Fuck It, We'll Fix It in Post. I'm here with my colleagues, Victoria V.A. Jones.
What is going on?
And Carson Hype Ferguson.
We have not been here for a while, and that's all you're going to give us?
I think the last time we talked, I know we talked about this could potentially be a very interesting summer for movies. And turns out it has. As of Monday, they're projecting that this summer would have grossed $4 billion in sales.
It's not surprising.
I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit surprising for me.
Why?
So the two movies I knew this summer was going to do well, Michael and Spider-Man. Now, I didn't think Spider-Man would do as well as it did.
Get out of here.
Why?
No.
Why would you think it'd do
get out
well,
of
though?
It went $2 billion. It broke records.
But why wouldn't you think Spider-Man would do better?
Do
better.
I thought Spider-Man would do $1 billion. I didn't think it would do 2. I wasn't thinking. And also,
there's a difference between $2 billion and $1 billion, huh?
Yep. $1 billion's a Marvel movie. $2 billion's a record. And Spider-Man.
It still hit $1 billion though. Even if it still hit $1 billion. So
Now,
I don't understand.
Here's also a point. And we've all talked about it may have been a potential superhero movie fatigue.
I don't think it's that. I think the hero movies aren't as good. There's no emotional investment. Ever since Endgame, you were leading up to something and you had a crescendo. It's done. They gave us a Black Widow movie after the fact where she's already, spoiler alert, she's already gone. And they gave her a movie after the fact.
They sure did.
It's like, there's no stakes. There's no stakes.
So you bringing up Endgame. So they released a new trailer for Doomsday.
Yes.
Did you see it?
No.
So
He is not going to watch any superhero movie.
Remember what I said?
No. Don't do me like that. I'll probably watch Spider-Man. I'm not going to the movies to see it. I liked the last Spider-Man. It was great. They did a bunch of fan service too. Normally, sometimes that don't work out, but it was great. They did the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. I was like, yo, this is amazing. I was smiling the whole time. Yeah.
So I just brought, because you remember when I told you about, I think we talked about trailers, how the trailers kind of oversell the movie. And I think I used an example of Batman, Superman movie.
Well, the biggest thing, one of the main reasons why I'm not necessarily interested as much in the Doomsday thing is because everything they threw at Marvel or whatever didn't do well outside of Spider-Man, right? Most of the Marvel movies didn't do that well. So now they're trying to go back to the old formula. They got to reintroduce Robert Downey Jr. into the Marvel universe somehow. I'm like, you didn't have nothing else?
Also, knowing that, it was supposed to be another character they built off of, and all the kind of all the little controversy that came from that.
He ran away from that woman. He ran away from her. Sorry.
They had moved on by the time they got to that point.
Sorry.
But does all of that also maybe add to it?
For some people, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily for me. I'm just like, because I didn't watch the third Ant-Man movie.
I think I've never been a big Ant-Man guy.
So. The first movie's fire, for real. Second movie, it's all right. But the first movie was great.
Why was the second movie so bad?
I don't know. It's just it wasn't as captivating. Ant-Man's like Iron Man in the comic books was kind of a throwaway character for a lot of people. Iron Man was a throwaway character. He was like a second, third rate character. But you would never think that the way the movies did.
Okay. So let me ask you something. Was there one movie that kind of you may have watched or just kind of saw the promotion of, you thought, okay, this was probably going to be a better summer than far as movies wise in the summer than summers past?
I honestly, because I know so many people are excited about it, I think Doomsday will do well. I don't know if it'll do Spider-Man well. I think it'll do well though.
I was just talking just movies that came out this summer, but yeah, I don't think anything. I would be amazed if Doomsday outdo a Spider-Man.
I don't think it will.
Actually,
I don't think it will.
You just had me think about something. I saw, and this was like a few months ago. I'm surprised I didn't send it to you. There was this critic that thought had made a prediction that Supergirl was going to outdo Spider Man. That was everyone's response.
Come on, man. Supergirl is on record to like lose the studio like a bunch of money.
100 million.
It's because like what's happening, right? Is they're taking the IP and they're not being as respectful, especially to the audience. They're even getting in little spats like online with like people in the audience. Be like, you messed up your show, Ryan Johnson. Yeah, license print money, man, messed up Star Wars. That's neither here nor there. We can move on.
Yeah. Oh, wait. The reason Star Wars didn't do well. I think this is one of the first ones that didn't do well in years.
The first ones that didn't do well. It's been a decline since The Force Awakens.
Because I had a note on that. And this is the first time a Star Wars movie came out, and I'm not really a watcher of Star Wars, but it was the first time a Star Wars movie came out. I had no idea. You know, they spend as much marketing the movie as they do producing them. So I had to look back and I was like, wait, there was a Star Wars movie? But I forgot the name of it. But it started off well, and then just I guess whoever saw it the first weekend went online and said, yo, don't even worry about it. And it just went down.
I don't even know about a Star Wars movie. I just know they had a bunch of shows that didn't do well. Like The Mandalorian or whatever. Like,
okay, yes, I do know about that.
Started off like super strong and then like kind of went down after a while. So I don't know.
That's not worth talk about The Mandalorian, but no, I know what you're talking about. I'll tell you when I kind of realized it's going to be good. So I go to like a local movie theater here. So I go there to see the Odyssey. And usually, because the AMC theater is like right up the street, most people, especially because this is kind of a place, people don't grow up here. They just move here. They go to what they know, AMC. So most people go there. And it's not that many people. So I can go see, I've seen like all types of Marvel movies that do well. I watch it there and it's not that many people there. I go there, I couldn't even park. I had to go like, and I mean, it's a big lot, but literally I could usually go like right in front. I had to go all the way back and walk. Then I go in. So I go in to see the Odyssey and there's like 3 seats left. That has never been the case for me. Then I go back the next day and see Spider-Man. I had to literally sit out front. So I'm basically doing this. I'm like, okay, if this place is packed, and apparently I just looked for AMC just because now I'm curious. They were packed for like, I feel it for a few days when I had checked. So I was like, okay, they getting out. And I mean, that I was glad that theater had gotten as many people they got, because I mean, most people don't think to go to local theaters, but I was like, I wish this could have happened later, like after I went. Also, I'll bring up the Odyssey because it was in IMAX, which I'm not sure if any of y'all saw it yet. I will say this:
I'm not going to
one
see
thing, there's possibly no CGI in the Odyssey, but you'll see stuff in it and go, okay, then how the hell did y'all do this?
That's how they used to shoot films back in the day.
Or practicals.
So it's possible not to have CGI.
It's
no
possible.
Films.
But it's just the stuff they do. Like, there's one scene where it's basically them fighting this giant. I'm not even gonna call this a spoiler. The movie's been out for weeks, so like a giant.
But the Odyssey is based off of the Trojan horse. Everybody knows that story.
Yeah. Now that you can look at and tell it's not. It actually, at least to me, when they're moving the horse, and they basically just got a shit ton of people just moving it, but the horse looks lighter. Like it looks.
What, the horse lost weight?
That's what it looks like.
Come on.
But the way they're moving it, and this could just be me being really picky. I'm looking at like, it doesn't look that heavy. It just looks really big. And I mean, you can shoot something to make it look bigger than it actually is. But they had like a ton of, and it could look, they just had a bunch of extras pulling it.
Well, that's kind of like the Barbie movie. That was all original sets. Like they built those sets when that movie came out.
Actually, I'm gonna go back to Barbie because she just reminded me of something with that. I'm not necessarily meaning like necessarily the sets. It's just like certain aspects of the movie, like them fighting a giant one-eyed monster.
Cyclops.
I guess in the traditional sense, yes, because it literally is a dude they basically went pretty old school with it, but it doesn't look old school. Let's put it that way. Like if they would have done something like this in like the early 30s, it would have a completely different look. It looked like a modern because it's basically a guy in a mask, and he's in the scene fighting all these people who are much smaller. But it doesn't look old. It looks like something that could have been done with CGI, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but that does not that doesn't surprise me. Any good filmmaking, you can do stuff like that. You don't have to use CGI.
And it's probably also cheaper in a day where they use CGI just because it's a cheaper way to do stuff.
Yeah, but it's not cheaper in the long run in a lot of those places, especially like with the Marvel movies. They're super CGI heavy, and because they rely on it so much or whatever, they have like production overruns because of it.
Yeah, that and at least with I know with the Odyssey, they travel to like for one, they got a bunch of big name actors. I think it's like 200. The whole production of like 260 million, and then you got another 200 million for marketing and everything. They traveled to like 4 different countries to shoot this.
You look surprised.
I mean, like,
Well,
I mean,
how-
like this
why-
ain't
why
the
are
most,
you
this ain't the
surprised,
first
though?
time, right?
Well, for Christopher Nolan, no. Most directors ain't got that kind of right.
Christopher Nolan.
The answer to most of my questions on this is going to be Christopher Nolan. Which so now
That's like saying like, man, oh boy, that did the Avatar, man, man, he spent a bunch of money. Spent a bunch of money.
No, he didn't
Yeah,
spend that money.
Oh boy.
But after the Odyssey, there's now been talks that they want, I guess fans want Christopher Nolan to do a horror film.
Why?
Well, he doesn't seem to want necessarily. He has a respect for it, but he doesn't necessarily want to do it. They just want to see a Christopher Nolan version of a horror film.
That's just silly. Why?
Yeah, that's not smart.
Yeah, like I mean, why? Like he doesn't really want an attachment to it or
And
anything
the
like
other
that?
thing is certain directors do only certain things that they want to do. That might not be his lane. Him saying
No,
that
and he's pretty much said that.
right. So
Like-
why would you want anybody to do something that they don't want? Like it's not in their lane. So
Now-
if he did come out with a horror film and then it did not do well, he's gonna say, "See, I told you, y'all wanted this. I told you."
Oh, you're gonna say, "Look, I got paid." So
Yeah, but
that's
he
different.
like he's to the point now that any project he does, he gets paid. He probably got paid for the Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
well,
Oh yeah, and I think he got back. I think he gets back in for it. I mean, he feels like the director that would do that. But now the example that I saw used as far as them wanting to do him doing a horror is Batman. Not the Scarecrow character, but there's like elements of the Batman that had a horror feel to it, and
this sounds terrible already.
Yeah,
There's like nightmare versions of like the DC and the Marvel universe and all that stuff, and there's a bunch of stories. Like there's no need for that. There's no need at all. you
now
know?
I'm not gonna. And this is speaking as a person who doesn't really watch horror. If he did, I would go just to see what this would look like. So I think it would make money off of interest alone. I don't know how well it would be.
if he
But-
wanted to make a horror film, he would. So my thing is, that's just not smart.
And on top of that, why would you take like Batman and be like, oh, let's make this into a horror? I'm like, okay, how are you gonna do that?
Don't look at me.
how-
I would never do that.
No, I'm saying like, how are you gonna do that since you got the idea?
Because people sitting at home just thinking of stuff.
And those are the people that would lose the studio a boatload of money. It's not like they're swimming with all this money already,
Yeah,
like from all these.
I mean, there
films
were
they've done
people
so
saying
well.
Supergirl's going to outdo Spider-Man.
Hey, look, man. I was gonna make mention of a popular like area in one of the cities in the Northeast with a lot of people that have issues with substances, but I won't do that. Some people have issues. I'll just say it like that.
So, okay, since I brought up horror, now there's 2 of these non-IP films: the Odd Obsession and Backrooms. Directors are YouTubers. I think those films were made for like
Very low budget.
very low. It's considered micro budget. It probably quadrupled, like $100 million movies.
Yeah, like was it Obsession had the issue with the one costume artist or
I know you're talking about.
what? Nah, what was it? Costume designer?
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't a
think
costume. It wasn't a costume
it was
designer.
a costume or set designer
Yeah, I think it was a set designer.
that they believed that they were supposed to be paid. They wanted to get a piece of the. I guess they wanted to get a piece of the back end, but they got because they got
No, like that. Like so, when they signed up for it, it wasn't like it wasn't a big deal at first, and then like after they made the money, then they're like, oh, this is not fair.
and it's like nobody knew this movie was gonna do well. But that's also I think it's more of a thing where it's like they don't necessarily want to like knowing the business of it, business of filmmaking. Because I did see quite a bit of talk about it, and it's like you got paid for you got paid what was under your contract.
And got paid way more than normal, like average, like like salaried person in America, the medium income or whatever. You got paid very well for what you did for a project that nobody thought anybody was gonna make no money on. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I don't know, like, and then she kept on like going back and forth with people online or whatever. They were arguing with her. It wasn't a good look. It just wasn't a good look.
It's just one thing I think you look. It's like okay, it got to like you also. I was thinking an example of this is like in the music business where somebody will sample a song and then the song don't blow up, they don't care. But if song blows up, they come right back.
Well, you know, it's really funny. Like, there was a lot of like original artists that were upset that the sampled version was way more popular than the original version. So then they were taxing the hell out of the artist because it was like a jealousy thing. Like, well, like I came up with it first. Without me, you know, it wouldn't be whatever. I'm just like, look, man, like
Okay,
that's one thing.
Okay, I wanted to look it up. So yeah, it was the art director.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, she went public in June 2026 and complains about how she was compensated and how much work she was expected to do. She was paid $300 per day on the non-union production. She described doing work across multiple areas, include art direction, production assistant duties, set dressing, graphic design, and even appearing as background talent. The movie was made for roughly 750 grand, but after becoming a massive hit, it was on track to make hundreds of millions. She argued that the enormous financial success highlighted a bigger issue in the way indie film crews can be asked to work for relatively little money, while producers and distributors potentially make enormous returns.
Well, I mean, like, look, like ultimately, when it comes down to it, like they're the ones that have to get the film to the finish line, basically. And I'm not saying they did more work or less work or whatever, but hey, that's just the nature of the business. Hey, it may not be like the greatest thing, but if you want a better system, you better be the person to touch all the dials, press all the buttons, and flip all the switches.
Or take the financial risk.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got to be the person to to understand like how to get it to the audience. Then like, or else you're gonna be at the whim of somebody else.
I think that's like and not even indie filmmaking. It's just an issue within filmmaking.
Filmmaking, yeah,
entirely. There's which one is more valuable, the person who fund the movie or the creators who make the movie.
Honestly, man, I think that's a bad way of looking at it. I don't think like which one's more important, whatever, or which came first, chicken or egg. I mean, because everything's part of the cog in a machine, and in some instances, there's more like there's more people that did heavy lifting in one element versus another. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, but when you're in the negotiating table, that's kind of that's
Yeah,
where
but
you run your back.
that's after the fact though. The movie's already in a can. So like, if you don't necessarily have the leverage, then hey, guess what? Whatever. Because like the main people that developed the film or whatever probably got pennies on the dollar in the grand scheme of things, other than the people like on the that actually own the platforms that they put the thing on. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody like that has connections for like the I guess the
Well, like if they put
distributors.
on Amazon and said like 100,000 sales on Amazon, Amazon's gonna get the bulk of that profit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the nature of the beast. Hey, until you get your own thing, you can sell direct to consumer. You're at the whim of the industry, basically.
Or your negotiating skills.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, you ain't really negotiating too heavy with like an Amazon or whatever, unless you like Tyler Perry. But most filmmakers
I ain't
ain't
talking
gonna.
about streaming. I'm talking about the fact that that film is now in theaters and the negotiation. I'm talking about the point of you sitting up there and negotiating before it strikes, big time.
Yeah. And I mean, how many people? And the success of this movie is, I mean, this is it's not like it's a rarity. No one who was making this movie thought this movie was going to do what it does. Now, you could argue that when you're negotiating, you should negotiate as if you believe a movie is going to do what Obsession did, as to negotiating.
Yeah, but either way, they're still after the fact. She still had to get paid a salary beforehand. So, like, if it was the director making this issue or whatever, that's one thing. But this is a cog in the
crew
machine.
member. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like, hey, that's just you accepted the pay, which is a lot more than a lot of people get, especially on indie. Most people on indie don't get nothing. You said it wasn't even you say it wasn't even
union.
yeah, it wasn't even union. I mean, most non-union jobs like ain't getting that.
Anyway, with non-union, there's especially you're probably gonna get definitely in the low end, but it's also you just don't know. Like you may have the great, you may have a producer who may want to throw you money, and may somebody who doesn't. But as we wrap this up for today, the next time you'll see us, it'll be fall, and
It's gonna be fall.
it's yeah, it better be. Yeah, it'll be September, it'll be fall. So
And
this-
that does not mean that it does not start
Oh,
getting
look.
cold until the
Look,
end
well,
of
I'm
October.
not saying the weather's going to be. I'm just saying, so when they calculate like summer box office gross, it's May to
Oh,
Labor Day.
I guess.
Yeah, I probably should have worded it. But yeah, so it'll be end of basically that round, and should be well over 4 billion. This would be the highest since October, April 2019. So I'm gonna end with asking you this question: Do you think this could be a turnaround for movie theaters?
I never said that movie theaters were gonna die. Y'all said that. I've always been a movie theater person and rooted for the movie theaters.
I don't know if I ever said that they were gonna die. I just said like people's all their stuff is like changing. Say like back in the 30s and 40s or whatever, going to the movie theaters meant air conditioning because everybody didn't have central heating and air, especially if you like lived in like Chicago or something like that. You had to be pretty well to do, to have an ice box or be on Marion, right?
In the episode.
No.
All right.
Well,
Well, thank you all for
Come on.
listening and or watching. I am Kevin Mumphrey with my colleagues Victoria V.A. Jones
Welcome back.
and Karsten High Fargson. And that is a wrap.